Welcome, everybody, to LangTime Studio. I am one of your hosts, David Peterson. I'm here, as always, with my co-host, Jesse Peterson. Jesse, we have a very busy schedule today. Do you want to take us through it?
We're going to do negation. Oh, wait. Put this down a little. I'm still getting adjusted here.
Yeah, it actually says it's 90 degrees outside. How about that?
Well, I told you when it hit 88, I shut the windows. So that, I guess I assumed you knew that meant it got higher than that.
Yeah. Oh, goodness. Hey, Jason's here. Our
Yay!
Our old friend Jason from the FA Cup final. And Matisse is here. Matisse has had quite the odyssey. Matisse, I'm glad you could be here. I hope you start to feel a little better eventually. I'm so sorry. I am feeling better. Not completely better, but better than I was. Mm-hmm. I don't even remember. It seemed like last Thursday's stream went okay.
Oh, I think it went very well, all things considered, because you were sick and I was starving, and somehow we made it through 2 hours.
Well, that's good. But I'm still dealing with some of the after effects. Essentially, I have a little spreadsheet, a personal spreadsheet. Jesse suggested this to me, where I just mark every day and say, do I feel normal or not normal? That's it. And today is definitely a not normal day. I think tomorrow is probably also going to be a not normal day.
Well, tomorrow our schedule isn't normal, and so you can't really judge harshly how you feel when you're going to be waking up at the butt crack of dawn.
I know how I feel, but anyway, oh, that's right. Jonathan wasn't here, but Jonathan rewatched. I hope I feel normal by Sunday. That's my fondest hope, that I don't have to mark in the spreadsheet on that day. Anyway.
Yay.
I'm very glad that that Madeline can be here to join us because every Monday, Madeline streams with Jake and sometimes Bibloridian. Most times Jake, sometimes Bibloridian, sometimes no Jake. But for the next couple of weeks, those of you who are here that know this, this Sunday we moved ahead an hour. We still stream at 2 p.m., but for some parts of the world, it's going to be at an hour you don't expect for a little bit or for a while. As it happens, since Madeline is streaming with Jake, whose clocks don't go ahead for a couple of weeks, they're actually shifting the time of their stream every Monday. They usually stream every Monday at noon. They're now going to be at noon Pacific. They're now going to be streaming at 1 Pacific for a few weeks. Then when the clocks change in England, they're going to go back to noon on Mondays. So this is your program announcement. As far as I know, I didn't catch it because I was not feeling good, but what was I going to say? Let's Have a Booba, I believe, is still streaming at the usual time, 1:30 Pacific on Tuesdays, and that's adjusted to Pacific Daylight Time. I think. But actually, Jake is on that one too. Jake, are you shifting the time of Let's Have a Booba for a while, or are you kind of shifting to go in time with, what's it? Daylight time. American Daylight Time.
Are you sticking with European time, or are you doing American time?
I see. So in other words, they're still at 1:30 p.m. Pacific, but Jake missed half of the last stream. So did I. I ended up missing more than half of it, but I missed half of it as well. Anyway,
We
so
were in the middle of a meeting for an hour and a half of it. So
God, that's right.
You know,
I'm a
all of
goddamn
it.
hero. Anyway, and then George is here as well, and I gather George is, with no non-American component, is going to still be at 6 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Anyway, so, yep. Anyway, that's the skinny of it. Since we're doing announcements, also a reminder that SpecCon is going to be happening June 6th in Dublin, Ireland. Jesse and I will be there. Madeline will be there. Jake will be there. Biblaridian will be there. Artifexian will be there, which is a big deal since Artifexian is retired from YouTube streaming. This is going to be your chance to see him live, as well as World Building Pasta. Tickets may still be available. I don't know. They could be sold out.
Madeline can update us.
Wait, Madeline.
Madeline's here.
Just like mandolin, the instrument.
Cool.
Yeah. Tickets are still available for SpecCon. And so we're going to go ahead and drop that in here. It's assuming that the org is correct. If not, I'm going to delete that really quickly. Anyway, so yeah, you can come and see what it's like to be near us live. I'm told that I'm much taller in person.
Okay. I am very, very happy that you're told that.
Yeah. It's strikingly true.
Shockingly.
Anyway, by the way, I just want to check on something.
What are you checking on? I'm gonna be nosy.
It's regarding WorldCon, which is here in Anaheim in August. World Science Fiction Convention. And Mateus's life continues to excite while Mateus himself is apparently sick. I'm so sorry. So let's see. That was one announcement. Also, the other announcement is Madeline James, of course, has a book coming out in a month. Is it a month and 4 days? Or is it a month and minus 8 days?
Oh, that's a good question. I just remember April.
I'm pretty sure it's one of the two. And then, of course, I was neither of those. A month and minus 3 days. April 9th.
So close.
When the Beasts Came. So at this point, the Beasts have yet to come. But by the 9th,
they'll be here.
They will have already come, and you can read about what happened when they did. So, anyway, I'm tired already. Oh, because the Beasts came. I'm sorry. That's even better. Now you can find out what happened because the Beasts came. I think did I already tell everybody on the stream about
on the scream?
Oh God, about Nina Post's book, Death Comes in Pairs.
Well, I thought you told us that last week.
I thought so. Yeah.
You thought it was Paris,
and
you
kept
thought
wondering. It was Paris, and I kept reading the book. Was like, when the heck did they get to Paris? So you're in good company, Madeline. All right. Oh, poor Vincent. Does he still have his voice?
He should. I mean, it's much quieter than it used to be.
God, poor Vincent.
He's getting to be an old man.
Oh my God. Poor guy. Those of you who remember what Vincent used to sound like. He needs his little scarf. Oh. Poor guy. Okay. All right. Do we want to do the do, as they used to say in our era? Because our era was the 90s.
Do the do? Like drink Mountain Dew?
Yeah.
Isn't that still their slogan?
I don't think so.
They don't do the do anymore?
I'm pretty sure that they don't.
Man, I haven't done the do since like college.
Yeah.
I used to drink way too much Mountain Dew.
Yeah, that's actually a bit of a lore drop for Jesse. I have tried Mountain Dew once. I didn't like it along with the rest of soda.
It's so shocked.
Yeah.
You Baja blasted me away.
All right, so let's get to the poll.
Woo!
Almost hit the stop streaming button instead
Yeah.
of the blank out pages button. So this poll, I was really, well, Patrick, you can't be blamed for forgetting about the poll. Like, it went up like yesterday. Like, was it literally yesterday that the poll went
it was
up?
the night before.
It was the night before, so at least
I think it got up before midnight the night before.
At least there were 2 days. Usually I put up the poll. Usually I put it up a week in advance. I was having a time of it with the sickness. Mm-hmm. I was, figuratively speaking, and literally in some cases, I was down with the sickness. And I didn't feel up to writing up the poll. So Jesse stepped in for me and put the poll together. Did it wonderfully, but I should have asked earlier.
How fascinating that you can write up something while writing it down.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Every single system in our language is broken by other systems in our language. And in all languages, they're all broken. Like that Radiohead song. So, we were talking about negation, and Jesse put together 4 options for you to consider.
I chose from the original 6.
Yeah, there were originally 6. Yeah, and if I had to eliminate 2 teams from the original 6, I know which 2 it would be.
2 of the 4 that are up for auction?
No. These are good.
So I chose good ones to eliminate?
Yeah. And yeah, no, that was a hockey joke. They all got it because they're all NHL fans. But
okay.
Kidding. But of course, they are all heated rivalry fans, so maybe they do know what the original 6 means now.
I don't know. Okay.
But yeah, Boston and Chicago. Okay, so the 4 options we invited you to consider for the poll for negation were these. This was, I thought they were really solid options, all of them. Option A is something that I did for one of the Defiance languages, Kaz. It's it's kind of fun. I just gave them a negation particle. It comes at the end, and that negation particle is ar.
That's it?
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. Anyway, so the option was to come up with a negation particle and put it at the end of the sentence. And Jesse suggested this etymology, we wait, which I really like. It would be something reduced from we wait. So the idea is like, she wrote, we wait and see. And I just imagined these very French bats. The bat is flying, we wait. I really liked it. I was a big, big fan of option A.
Yay. Okay. Because that one I enjoyed writing
Yep.
down, up,
Spoilers foreshadowing. Option B,
across.
negative auxiliary verb. This is very similar to what Hawaiian does. And so you will see, like with Hawaiian, and you know it. It's similar to, but not quite the same as Hawaiian. In some ways, what we see in terms of whether something is a verb or a particle can be opaque when you have a language that has zero inflection, like Hawaiian does. Now, verbs in Hawaiian can take a passive particle, or really an argument flipping particle, because there are certain classes, there are certain types of verbs called a loa class of verbs, where the object is the agent and the subject is the patient. And when the passive is used with those, it flips them so that the agent is the subject and the object is the patient.
Okay.
Isn't that neat? But anyway, it's hard to say if what we have in Hawaiian is a particle or a verb. But if you look at Hawaiian, it looks as if main word order is VSO, negated word order is SVO. But really kind of what's happening is that the negative particle kind of pops out in front and occupies the verb spot, then comes the subject, then comes the actual content verb, which now separates it from the object. It's very nice. Anyway, so we would be doing that type of thing, except that it would be a true auxiliary verb. The nice thing about an auxiliary verb is that you don't have to worry about what happens to tense or aspect in a negated clause. If the auxiliary verb is fully inflected, then it's like that's where all of the tense aspect information goes, and you don't have to worry about it. So, pretty cool. And it's also at least a point of interest how negation might differ in the imperfective, where the content verb is not an infinitive, but a participle. So, anyway, that was the option here. And Jesse's suggestion was that it comes from the word to blow, as in wind to blow, as in they're being blown off course. So we have the bat is flying, and then blowing the bat, maybe from? I don't know. We'll see. We'll figure it out if this option wins.
Yeah, it was difficult to put these examples in because like so many other finer grammar points have to be decided. And that wasn't what the poll was about. The poll was just which strategy. And so it's like, yeah, just tossed it in there.
Yeah, but essentially it's going to be, there's going to be the negative auxiliary there. An associated argument is going to be the subject of the content verb. Then we're going to have the content verb, and then we're going to have the rest of it. So that is option B. Option C was a true negative prefix, which Jesse suggested 3 different possible etymologies for, all of which are great: sleep, roost, and wait. The idea is one of these things just kind of becomes a prefix the way that we created all of our other inflections, and just kind of either comes onto the front or comes in between the, what do you call it, the tense and the
aspect.
And the rest of it. And so that would be, if we wanted to do that, a nice, good, sturdy option. And then the other option was a negative suffix. So this would place negation outside the main area of the verb. All of the inflection happens at the beginning. And so what this would be is just a little particle. Could be derived from an old negator, could be derived from something else. It occupies adverbial position, adverb position.
Yeah.
And that is why it's a suffix and not a prefix or anywhere else, and it just kind of gloms on. Nice and simple.
And for that one, I didn't have any like ideas other than saying there's just a really old adverb that means no or not, or some modifier that says not that. And with that option, I specifically chose imperfective for all of these examples.
Yeah.
Because it had marking at the front and it takes the adjectival form at the end.
Yeah.
And I wanted that to show you that final option with suffix marking where the not would actually follow the adjective, marking if the verb requires it.
Yeah, which is kind of wild. I mean, it makes sense because, of course, it's an adverb. It's separated from the whole thing. Of course, it would be after that. But what it means is that there's a kind of internal agreement that happens with negation, which is pretty fun. You see the epiphenomenon of internal agreement with adverbs in Spanish, at least regular adverbs. Regular adjectives in Spanish. Because if you have an adjective like rápido, right? Rápido can be masculine if it ends in an O, rápida if it's feminine, and so you would change the vowel on the end depending on what it agrees with. But when you put it into adverbial form, it is rápidamente. Rápidamente is impossible. It doesn't exist. And why is that? It's because the mente part of the adverb comes from an old word from Latin, which was in the feminine, and that is why it is rapidamente. And so it's actually internal agreement. Very fun.
That is very cool.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, all of them good options. All of them got votes.
Got votes?
Got votes. Votes are French votes. But D got the least.
Okay.
And yeah, maybe we could have talked it up more. I don't know. But it's not a big deal because they were all...
Is it because I didn't have any ideas other than just a basic not? Is that...
It could be. It could be. But
and David,
they were all good options.
Your last hair rustle left your hair not lying. There we go.
You're saying that my last hair rustle left me not sexy?
Left you tousled.
You were less attracted to me after I did that?
I found it very
Tousled.
good. However,
Tousled, huh?
However,
Tussled, I believe. Yeah.
I know that if you had seen that, you would have been like, you didn't see this? And you would have been very upset that nobody told you that your hair was out of place.
It was a lose-lose scenario.
And so, anyway, go on.
But yeah. Anyway, so... and of course, right. Mente is still a word in Spanish, and so it is feminine, la mente. Yeah. Sometimes I forget because,
Because you just, you just know the language. So, like, you think of it the same way we think of English suffixes, or that you do too, because you're also an English speaker. And so, yeah.
Oh, man. Oh, Matisse, that can be your new podcast. When the D internally agrees. And actually, I'm okay with the Freudian slip I made there, mispronouncing new. Consider it. All right, so came down to A, B, and C. All of them got votes. All of them got a good number of votes.
Well, I know A didn't win because
you
liked it.
Yeah, A didn't win. So between
so B and C.
Between B and C. Is the winner B?
Auxiliary.
Yeah, the auxiliary.
I actually like that. I like that we'll be shifting and there will be a series of inflections for this auxiliary, and that we won't need to worry about figuring out negation with all the different tense aspects with the main verb. That becomes a whole package where it's difficult. This is its own package, and we'll figure out what's needed for each type, but I like that.
Yeah. Anyway, so it's going to make translation easier. Jason is saying, I thought A won. A did win one of the polls, but not the other two. So, but I can always double check, which I'll do. But let's go to pages right here.
Well, it's and also mente coming from mind is sort of parallel semantically to English's ly, ly, coming from the word for body, from lich.
Yeah.
And so it's like in the mind of X, in the body of X. And so it's like that same kind of spirit. So yeah, that is a very cool semantic path that you can take for such things.
Oh, I see.
What?
Well, I'm just going to take the results as they were
Did they change?
when I looked at it. Remember I asked you if you had the poll end
I did at 1:45.
in 5 days.
I thought I picked the right date. I picked the 12th. Like, I remember I went through and picked the 12th on all of them. Anyway.
Maybe the 2 looked like a 7?
Maybe. Did I do it on all 3 or just one?
No, all 3 of them.
Did it change it? Did it decide it didn't like it ending? And
I don't know, but also now D has no votes. So that's kind of sad. Oh well.
Sorry, everyone. This is why I shouldn't be allowed to do things like polls. But I like the auxiliary. Let's move ahead.
Sure, yeah. I think some people were being cute while watching the stream.
And changing things.
Changing votes around.
I wish I could go back in time and show you that. I promise you. Because I even did the math. I was mathing it all out for okay, it's the 10th today. And so in 2 days, because I was writing it before midnight. Whether it posted before midnight is not my concern. My gosh. My gosh. Yeah.
Yep. Anyway,
Interesting. It's almost like it reset it to the full week.
Yeah.
Because I put 12th and then I was writing it on Tuesday the 10th.
Right. And it definitely does default to 1 week.
And so I wonder
it's
if I just
weird.
clicked out and it didn't save right or something. Because it definitely kept my 145. Anyway, I really am sorry.
No, I'm sorry too. I mean, this is. I mean, I've been doing the polls for years, and so I feel bad. Oh well. I guess they'll all have to take my word for it that B really did win. And I think if there's anything that our patrons know, it's that I'm trustworthy. But I mean, honestly, though, if I were to fudge it, I would have fudged it in favor of A, which I really liked. Nice and clean, nice and simple, but that's all right. It's going to take more work, obviously, to get an auxiliary up and running, but it's going to repay your effort, right? Because you put in all that work and then you get a lot from it. Makes it a lot easier when it comes to do things like translation. So,
it's very interesting to me. This is totally off topic, but thinking about verbs, so it's kind of adjacent. How it's like when we think about clause structure and we're thinking about this, this main verb has these arguments that it's got reign over. And then when there's another verb in between, like I want to do something or I want to whatever. And it's so fascinating. I'm having to get my brain in the right position that Spanish groups it as that's the verbal construct. And any, let's say, dative objects go before the other verb that it's not actually a dative of.
Oh, yeah.
If I want to give it to him, you would put the le and then quiero dar, and it's you put it out in the front, and it's like but then the negation comes before, like no le quiero,
You know. Yep.
Yes. It's so wild. Even whenever you have to have the a with the verb because it's distance, like the voy a dar, you'd have the le voy a dar, despite the fact that that's what that's marking is, like it's embedded, but it like pulls the argument way out front. It's so fascinating to me.
Yeah, it makes it even harder for German novelists, for example, who have to know the exact ending of their book when they start writing the first sentence. Yeah.
Anyway.
All right. Oh. Verbs are always on topic, says Patrick, even at my funeral. David, if I die, I need you to say some cool stuff at my funeral so my family thinks I'm cool. I think it's really interesting that you think that your family's going to be there, Patrick.
God, David. Out of all of the ways you could have taken that, like, it's funny you think that your family knows me, or, like a million things to say. And that's what David does.
Sorry, Patrick. I got a hug for you at SpecCon. Oh, man. Hug not transferable. You have to show up for SpecCon and pay full price. Anyway. All right. What are we even doing with this language? I kind of like it.
I don't know, but you just roosted Patrick.
Yeah.
All right.
And I like our fancy flying bats.
I'm going to get rid of the other options that we had. Option 3 from our original 6, 1. And so here we go. Oh. Yeah, Jason likes it too. Jason, just out of curiosity, have you ever drawn a bat? For those of you who don't know, Jason's a really good artist. In the primary way that we see it is Jason did the icon that he has on Discord. Yeah. Anyway. Oh yeah, and by wrote it you mean drew it? I guess that probably means some sort of writing was involved. If you call those strokes writing, loosely. Listen, the way you just got Patrick, you deserve a little ribbing.
True enough.
Nice tiny
one,
red, yes. That's incredible. Actually, one art student that I worked, so twice it actually happened. I was on the committee for an arts MFA thesis.
Oh.
Because every thesis committee, on the committee, there has to be someone from the outside to basically be like, you're not doing things very well, or you're making good decisions, especially with art where like someone can just take a subjective disliking to a person's art and be too harsh, let's say. So anyway, I served as committee members twice for theses. One of them was particularly interesting in my mind because she did really large scale ink drawings. And if you moved in really close, every line was little words. And so like everything said something, but it's like you had to get really close to see it because from a distance it just looked like lines.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
Yeah. Patrick actually does the same thing. And by Patrick, I mean Jason. Sorry. Patrick on the brain. Also, actually, you know what was on my mind? You know, it would look so cute, Jesse, is if you did just one of those little braids that's like right here,
Okay. I mean, sure.
Yeah. Still thinking about that. I'm still thinking about that reality show with Matei Smiles and Jake reviewing the little froggy statues with the umbrellas. Mm. Okay, so we got the participles. Negation is up here. Okay, we did get all of the inflection, right? We're done with all of the inflection. That's good. This is a note for later. Negative verb auxiliary. All right. So, let's actually go up to page 15 and do it here so that we have the inflections right there with us. Let's start with these, then we'll get to this one, then we'll talk about how either the verb or the associated argument should be marked. Okay. So we've got ga or ga. It looks like the shorter ones are going to be ones that begin with a consonant. And so in order to keep the negation shorter, I feel like it should begin with a consonant, or it begins... No.
It actually doesn't matter because syllabically it comes out the same, yeah?
Yes.
If the word for no is just like a VC or a
Yes.
V.
Yes.
And of course, we know that really all we need to do for the protoform for it to blow, it's ooh. Because what does wind do? Ooh. Done.
You're very cute. I'm going to throw out a couple suggestions. One of these might end up being too meaty. And so, but if we use something that begins with a voiceless stop, then we will get a click in our negator.
Ooh.
And we have and as kind of windy blowing sounds.
Well, the second is the more windy to my ears.
It is. It might be too meaty. So let's just throw it in and see what happens. I'm going to take us to Lexurgy.
I'm excited to find out what my ooh just reminded Jonathan of. But they said they have to go look something up. And so please do. And Jake, thank you. Jake says I'm the cutest.
It probably reminds Jonathan of something that occurred in haunted Baltimore. And they're going to check the records.
You know, you got to stop doing that because I now struggle to remember where Jonathan lives because of you.
Oh, I know.
You're doing this. You're
I'll
like
tell you off
messing
stream.
me up.
I will tell you off stream, but this is protection. Because now when anybody online thinks of Jonathan, they're going to think of Baltimore. And so when they go looking for Jonathan, they're going to go to Baltimore. And Jonathan's just going to be laughing it up in sunny northern...
Specifically, it reminded Jonathan of hoi yo.
Oh,
Hoi
that's
yo.
right. That's right. Keep forgetting that.
So they encountered a second word for owl in Yiddish. Solva. Solva. Did I get the oh? Solva. Sol.
Sova. Sova.
Love it. Magpie, right?
Ow. Hoyow. Hoyow.
Is it hoyao or hoyo?
Hoyo.
Because I think I said yao the first time and then realized I think it was supposed to be yo.
I don't know. Depends how IPA we're being. Okay, so we've got.
How IPA we are.
All right. Oh. Well, we didn't talk about that.
What did we talk about?
Why are there's all these differences? Because the passive can come before other things. That's right. That's right. Oh.
When you say come before,
That's the thing.
it can come
It's
after.
gotta be passive. It's gotta be passive. The bat was blown from something. Yeah. Yeah.
And when we did this, we did mean that the passive could get used with imperfective, perfective, right? Like it can be used widely.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So, I guess here's the question. Do you want the conceptualization of this to be that the subject is blown from doing something, or that they're acting like the wind and blowing it away?
The choice, which is good. But I also have another secondary idea.
Eric Shimi, Zukarpstein, 6885. Hey, anyway, sorry, go ahead.
So, I think I see what you're saying. Okay.
The 12th, it's good.
One, I think it could be useful to have passive and negation together in the same space. Like to be able to say like it wasn't thrown.
Oh, I see. So like if you
say that all of
so
them
like
are
if in other words, if you say the if we're saying that the pear was eaten and the pear was not eaten, you want the passive inflection to be on the negator, not on the.
Oh, we could mark the main verb rather than the negator if it's passive.
That's what I was thinking.
Interesting. So in terms of being able, like if you want to go the passive route, in terms of being able to shorten it so that it's not like the auxiliary isn't basically at its core always going to be 2 syllables, right? Because if it's passive, it's going to have whatever plus the passive plus the root for blow.
I should mention, by the way, the negator in Hawaiian is ole. 3 syllables. Anyway.
They're not meaty syllables, though, David.
No, they're not.
But one, and I just want you to feel how this feels, David. Okay. Our passive protoform comes from adjective K, a glottal stop. If the protoform of to blow starts with KH, which is adjective, a something, the kha could end up into one where like basically, yeah, it was semantically passive, but like it got smashed together because speakers were like saying the same onset twice.
Okay.
And the stronger one won, and the stronger one is of course the affricate.
Oh,
and it ate up the
bold suggestion.
passive.
All right. Let's see what we would be looking at. Just for the sake of curiosity. Okay, we got that. I also just want to try that. Oh, wow, they come out the same. It's kind of interesting. Caja.
That's perfect. Okay.
Okay.
Where do we go from there, David?
I want to see what happens when you put the other prefixes in front. So we got nga and dun. Wow, it turns it low tone, huh? Dun, ha.
None of that allowed.
I know. But at that point, it's just a verb. Why though? Why does it go from falling to low?
I'm also, as you're looking at this, you can trace the evolution.
Because it goes from falling to low.
But while David is doing this, I'm
Yeah.
also in my head trying to talk myself out of suggesting something a little bit convoluted to you.
No. Bring the juice.
Whereby
Yes.
the active auxiliary means that you chose not to do something. The passive auxiliary means it was chosen for you. So, like, I didn't fly because I didn't want to versus, I couldn't fly, basically. Like, something stopped me.
Yeah.
In which case, we would want kind of a different form, so that way the passive could look different.
I don't know. Hold on a second.
No, not fully different, but like, change the vowel to an oo,
Speak to me the inflections.
do something. Speak to you the inflections?
It looks like there's only two, right? There's only the bounce and bounce, hang, and flap. No, because bounce is the passive. So there's only
Swoop.
hang and flap. There's only hang and flap. That's it.
What about swoop?
We don't need to worry about that.
Okay. So to land, which we don't fully have to worry about because it's got it's
No.
do, but
It's the
it's
same.
do.
Well, maybe we do have to worry about that. Okay.
I mean, if we want to be thorough.
And we are, if anything, thorough. I'm always at a loss.
Bye, Patrick. And yeah, I totally get that. I struggle to pay attention to people speaking while trying to, do something work-wise.
Huh?
Patrick needs to go because he can't focus on both the work that needs to be done and the stream. And I was just saying, I
Doesn't
understand.
that mean he needs to stop work?
I don't think we pay him to watch the stream.
Okay. All right, is everybody seeing this? I also want to try one more thing.
Okay.
Just if we delete
And yes,
the,
I see it. I don't know that everybody else does, but I see what's happening. Oh, okay. That would get rid of the click. What you just did.
No. So this,
It doesn't change much else, though, does it?
no.
I don't think it saves anything to not do the click. I mean, the click is just another consonant for them, so it's still just a CV structure.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that P was a listed sequence. It is.
Okay. Well, it is now. If you recall, I didn't have P in Lexurgy before like last week because we hadn't made it appear. Or no, that was B. That was B, not P.
It wasn't about whether it was going to be B or P. It was about whether it was going to be P or some sort of fricative, or that just got lost or something. Oh, of course, it's right there. It's right there. It's right there. Okay. I'll separate these out. Oh, I'm in IPA mode. Doot, 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 doot.
What's your brain thinking?
Okay. So this is hard because I want people to be able to look at both things.
Right.
I also feel like, I mean, can people see that? Is it big enough? Yeah, it looks
I can
big
see
enough.
it, and my screen is not full screen. It's a
All right.
tiny window within the screen.
All right. So, kind of like this top thing. Obviously there's lots of things going on here with tone and with that thing and the P. What I want us to remember is that these inflections have been simplified. So it's going to be everything but without the extra stuff. And also, regardless of the low tone, I think it's supposed to be high tone, unless we want to change it just for the negative auxiliary, which we might. Because I don't think yeah, it's low tone the whole way. The others were, this was high tone because we just took it directly from the locative. So we said that it came directly from the locative. Even if negation is old. If negation is older than the locative, then this would be what was added anyway. With the high tone and with the N only appearing in front of a vowel, which this is not. And And if the locative is older than the negation, then it doesn't matter anyway. So put us back there. Bring Lexurgy back. What this means is that, yeah, we are essentially going to ignore this stuff. And the problem if there shouldn't be. The only issue is this form right here, if that one's possible. It's kind of anachronistic because in order for that to be possible, it needs to occur at a time when the locative was applied to the verb unreduced, which means it has to happen after the locative is already nominal inflection. And so it seems unlikely. I don't think that we're going to get the click.
Yeah, I don't think that.
Yeah.
Looking at how that plays out and seeing how we've got it for all the other verbs where it's just do or doing, it doesn't make sense that the negation would be both newer and older.
Yeah, that's essentially what we're looking at. 'Twas a fine dream.
Which,
So,
because we're not going to get the click, I think that opens up the phonetic form. You know, like if you wanted it to be different from some others, then, you know. What happens? Does anything interesting happen with H's as onsets?
I was also thinking of codas. Let's try them both.
Have H as an onset and the k as a coda. Hak.
You can try that as well. Well, not that. Lexurgy is on screen, right?
Yeah.
Am I bringing any cheer to Matisse at all?
I will let you know if anything is mentioned. It's really odd, like for my video stream where every once in a while a little stop and go, but like little, I mean like it pauses for a microsecond. And so like if I'm turning my head or something, like it stops here and suddenly my head is there. It's very interesting though, because nothing else seems to be wrong.
Well, this is super interesting.
Ooh, what do you see?
The presence or absence of a coda doesn't affect the tone. It does affect the length of the vowel.
Okay.
Which means that we could get a shorter negator with perhaps a consonant reemerging for liaison, maybe,
Okay.
if we wanted to do that.
My gosh, yeah. Oh, and look at that. We could just get Iba.
Yeah. So, also, this is incredible. Ekaha. Ekaha is, I think, how you'd say that. So, there's that. Down here, it's low tone. And again, we got long vowel or short vowel with a ch there.
Interesting. So Jonathan said, ha is a negator in Thalia. It's great. And Mateus didn't answer your question, but does write that he would never negate anything. Simply believe in the power of positive thinking. Indeed.
I wanted to know if I was bringing you any cheer. And on the subject of tea, Jake mentioned making Tulsi tea, and this evoked nothing in me. Nothing at all. Like, at the very least, I feel like there's more gravel in my voice right now, and this should be doing something for you, Mateus. Tulsi is a kind of basil. Huh. Interesting. Oh, especially with Rose. I know that's going to be a contentious contention.
We are indeed a slow form of entertainment as we stare at our screens wondering which of these very similar words do we like best for a negator.
Let's do something
Poll.
exciting for Mateus. All right. This is a very general question. What kind of negation do you think we should pursue? Going to have 4 options here. Or kind of like, what do you like best? And so options 2 and 3 have a consonant that will potentially re-emerge before arguments that begin with a vowel.
Whoa.
90s style laugh track.
Okay, so this happened. I'm just zoomed in on the actual chat portion.
more like a
Jonathan
70s,
posted
80s
this in
thing.
Discord. That's what happened to their chat.
Oh my God. Didn't I say 2 and 4, Jonathan? What did I say?
It's like E, L, N, Q, and F are like safe letters. Everything else got taken away until the bottom. Aaron broke the spell. Aaron brought it back for Jonathan.
Yeah, I meant options 2 and 4. We need more votes and better votes.
So also, in case anyone's curious, I did finally get on Instagram and check the many things. I reacted to all of them.
Oh, good. There's some good stuff. By the way, Mateus, I can't remember. Have we discussed the recent update with Stardew? And second, no idea if you're a Pokemon fan, but this new game they've come out with, I think they may have hit it out of the park with the kind of village building genre. Floridian. It's lightning fast entertainment in comparison to how long these renders are taking. Yes, indeed, Kobe. If I put an option I don't like, the people will choose it. Let me tell you why you chose the worst option and why it won. I don't like...
Do I get a vote?
Yeah, absolutely, especially if it's different from the winner. I don't like the falling tone on a short vowel. And so that's why...
Mine came in second.
Oh.
Ha. Which could reduce to just ha.
That is. Yeah. So, this is what happened, or this is the story of Pokemon Pokopia. As we all know, in the world of Pokemon, there are essentially 2 types of animals. There are humans and there are Pokemon. And there seems to be a lot more variety in the Pokemon than there are in the humans. and they lived together in peace. In Pocopia, it supposes that for some reason, a particular area, all of the humans just went, and the Pokemon essentially got so sad that they kind of went into hiding, or like just went away, or vanished into nothing. Maybe all Pokemon apparently have the same ability, which is to shrink down to any size they would like. Maybe they all shrunk down. But one Pokemon survived, a Tangrowth, which missed its former master so much that it kind of dressed up like him. And somehow Ditto arrives, who also misses their master, and so kind of styles themselves to look like the former human. And then little by little, Tangrowth helps Ditto, as in a kind of human form, bring life back to the valley and bring the Pokemon back. Yeah, and so it's kind of a dark backstory for otherwise a very fun and light game, and it's been out a week now, and already people are doing wild stuff with it. Like, just saw somebody post on Reddit that they're like, I guess to get electricity work you need to have wires, and they're like, I didn't like all the wires, so I just built a sewer. So all of the lighting for their entire town is built under a layer that they themselves made, and then on top of it is this huge town. It is pretty wild. But did the grandfather die? That's what we're all wondering.
Yeah, isn't that the whole premise? Like,
well,
the
sure.
will, the
Yes.
will, you got the farm.
Yeah, but honestly, it's kind of mysterious.
There's a shrine to your dead grandfather.
Well, sure.
On your farm. How is that?
Do you remember when
mysterious?
Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn died? There was a funeral and everything.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, so also Jonathan is saying that my vote should override and provide the correct result.
Yeah.
So, which aligns with what Jonathan voted for. So, yay.
And also, what happened to your parents in Stardew Valley? Did we ever ask this question?
Man, listen, obviously, Grandpa is closer to you. Your parents are fine. They're set up on their own. They don't need a farm.
And they don't care about you? They never talk about you? You never talk about them?
Don't you get notes every now and then? Don't you get a love mom or love dad and like a little gift in the mail?
Mateus, help me. I don't remember that.
Like,
Seriously?
I thought I remember they like sent you little things, like not often, but like. I mean, they practically are, Jake.
Well, Aaron's saying, yeah, you get mail every now and then. That's weird. What are they even doing? Do they work for Joja too?
No, because
What a
if they
terrible
did,
name.
your grandpa probably would have tried to get them out too.
Maybe
They
he
send
felt
you.
like
They send you cookies.
maybe he felt like they were a lost cause. Okay, so they make cookies. Oh, is that George going? Oh yeah. Sorry.
Bye, George.
Yes.
And not by George. It's
Yeah.
bye, George.
Oh yeah. Madeline must not be watching every single time. Bye, George.
All right, David.
Okay.
I'm gonna run back in a second.
Yeah.
You get things.
Yep. Okay, so we're all good with Jesse's vote overriding the actual vote. Because essentially this is going to give us our negation. The heck is that thing? Ah. See, this is actually, I think, a fair summary of the situation in Stardew Valley. As Mateus says, your parents are useless and try to buy your affections after the fact. And your grandpa, who raised you to become a good wage worker, fakes his death to leave you some derelict, indebted property. Well, hello. Dark Horse is back, and we know it's Dark Horse because of the icon. But now from Russia with Love 007. Yeah, if I ever get the chance to work on One Piece, or we ever get the chance to work on One Piece, that would be pretty cool. I don't think it's going to happen because, as we know, One Piece is coming to an end, and I'm very excited about it. I'm a huge One Piece fan. I'm not very far along. I'm in episode 367, I think. But that would be cool. I would love to create tons of languages for One Piece. But yeah, not likely. I don't know if you heard, Dark Horse is here.
Oh, hello, Dark Horse.
Dark Horse, we're creating a language for bats. We just created our negator, and what was I going to say? And our bats, among other things, they're racers, so they like to race. So they have flying races. Yeah, and Dark Horse is referring to the poneglyphs, which is a thing that, of course, Robin is studying. Robin came from a land of, oh my gosh, how am I forgetting this? It starts with an O.
Orange.
No, it was. Anyway, but yeah, the poneglyphs are like these ancient glyphs where the old civilization wrote, they wrote down something that was really, really important. And then the world government took over and basically hunted down everybody who could read these things and killed them and destroyed all knowledge of them, saying that they understand what those said and now they just need to follow the world government. Anyway, so.
Ohara.
Thank you, Ohara. That's right.
Thank you, Sotan.
Yeah. Anyway, I always remember it because it's the same as the word for daughter in Dothraki. But now to talk about what we're really here to talk about, the anime Bleach, which I know that you're a big fan of.
Can you get Kopiko? Thank you.
We did our negator. We earned it.
Cheers.
Cheers. Oh, it's a sweet thing. Ah.
Now whatever happens, happens. I got my Kopiko.
Kopiko, the #1 candy of Ichigo. Oh my god, what's his last name? How could I forget his last name? The main character of Bleach. Oh, man. Anyway, be sure to watch Bleach. The best anime ever and official sponsor of Kopiko candy. All right. No, that's right. The never-ending story is racing
Kurosaki?
snails.
Kurosaki.
Yeah, of course. Like, it was a normal name. That's right. Ichigo Kurosaki. And I have to say, I love the opening credits for Bleach. It changes over the years, but they get it. The people designing the opening credits get it. It's like, whatever, it's just these characters, and they're just kind of dancing around, doing things with each other, has nothing to do with anything. They get it. Though, I have to say, the One Piece openings are frankly legendary. They're great, and they actually do keep with the character the character development and world building. There's this one where a fun opening where the whole thing is they're just perspective jokes. So it's like based on like when you first see it, like for example, it looks like you know, there's a bird that's really up close on the screen and the other characters are small.
Okay.
And then you see like Luffy feed him something and like turns out the bird is just like huge. Oh, that was a fun one. Anyway. Oh gosh, Jake asking the real questions. I want to do something to be able to do the highlight people's chats because I would love to put Jake's up there as a mullet, Kiki in the front and Booba in the back. Anyway, all right, so let's do it. Let's fall in love. Okay. It's supposed to be high tone. Wait a minute. This is supposed to be high tone too. What's going on here?
With what one?
Well, I'm sorry. I was going to put in the negation forms, so I was just, you know, we did fly as an example. Mm-hmm. And over here it says this is what the prefixes are. And then you go to the forms, low tone, high tone, low tone. They're all supposed to be high tone. So either this needs to change or this needs to change. Let's see what happened. We can get rid
I feel like
of...
we must have made a mistake on the actual examples over here.
Well,
Unless it had to do with if an A follows, it's low tone, but if like an I or E follows, it's high tone because of the stress.
if you... So, this is one of those questions about how soon these things glom, right? If you put them together as one word in Lexurgy, you get this. If you put them as two words, you actually get high-low, where this thing changes to low. And we have not entertained the question yet of if we want the tones of verb roots changing.
Okay.
It's like if these things are entirely separate verbs, right, before they become inflection. And just a second, let me show you what we're looking at here. So you can see that these are the options for the prefix, both high tone, and this is the form. Anyway, if flap and fly remain verbs on their own all the way up to, I guess our sound changes are down here, all the way up to tiny genesis, rule 11, then they should both be high tone because individually they both get high tones on their own with no support. Double checking. Yep. So if they're both just verbs, there they go. If it happens before tiny genesis, then, you know, we got to ask ourselves what we're going to do. One, it's definitely less tonally interesting. And okay. Matisse, I'm sorry. We really have to discuss the order of these things, how soon these inflections came along. And I know that we talked about it, but we didn't write it down. So
I'm going to say what I think is happening after you do this.
After or now?
Do you mind me interrupting you?
Go ahead.
I think our thought process was that they were serial verb constructions.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a space in Lexurgy.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, it comes out the way it worded as a verb. And so, for instance, this verb for to swoop, if you just enter it by itself, it's falling tone, abe.
Mm-hmm.
Notice up here, it's falling tone.
Yeah.
And so effectively what I think we had decided was that something like im brach at some point became, we have a ra, and then this part being the grammatical part gets reduced, but at that point it's already a form, and then it comes together, but it maintains its individual status. So this maintains its identity as other things are added around it. And then, of course, the adjective endings. Because if you do these individually, we get the right tone pattern that we want. Like nga, as its own word, comes out as nga, high tone, which is marked here. This is different, but it comes out as high tone, and then the ra is also high tone.
Okay. I think you chose an unfortunate example to use, because in this case, this imperfective has to be the last one that was created. And it goes with the participle. The participle happened first.
Okay, so I may have told you about that one, but like, I've got all of them in Lexurgy. I've got nga, I've got dun, and so it's like I've got them. I'm looking at it, and what I'm seeing across the board is we treated it as if it was a serial verb construction, that this reduced in its, the prefix reduced in its overall pronunciation, but both pieces kept their tones from being individual words.
Yeah.
And so, because the same thing happened, like dun is actually a great example, because if you enter dun ra as two words, or dun ra as one word, if you enter that in the same line in Lexurgy, no matter what, you're getting don with an O. However, if you enter dun on its own, you get dun, which matches, of course, we took out the initial nasal, but it matches the dun, which maintain the U and the high tone.
Okay. That one is also not a great example.
Okay, so what you're saying is none of our prefixes are great examples. So let's go to nga, which also, David,
Yes.
works. Okay. Like all of them, all I'm showing you is that we treated them as separate units.
Yes. Except when we actually put these two words together.
Those, I think, are wrong.
Okay.
That is what I'm saying.
Okay. They don't necessarily have to be wrong. But logically, why would the first inflection you come up with be a perspective? I guess if that was the first distinction, whether you're doing it now or have done it versus if you're going to do it.
But why would this one be older than the one right underneath it, which you told me was a bad example? They both take the infinitive.
This one comes from the nominal inflection. And so it happened after the nominal inflection was already solidified.
It doesn't have to, though. They could have,
That was the intent.
but like they could have followed the same progression. Like this thing was semantically treated the same, and it got added to both verbs and nouns.
That is true. That is true. This one, of course, had to happen after. So the distinct perfective happened after
I
this.
didn't even look at that one.
No, I know.
Because it's compound.
I know. I'm really sorry, Jesse. I'm getting cloud in the comments, but you see what I'm saying, right?
I think it's a typo.
It doesn't necessarily have to be, is what I was suggesting. And the only reason I think this might be interesting is that otherwise all of our prefixes, all of them are going to be uniformly high tone. And many of the verbs that we're going to be adding these prefixes to are also going to be high tone. And so we are just going to be awash in high tone. That was the only reason I was suggesting it.
$53,000 words since the second? That's like being a machine. Dang.
I suppose if it was the 2nd of March, yeah.
Like, I feel like I've been productive since the second, but let me tell you, 53,000 words is not a measurement that I have reached since the second.
Kobe suggested something that I thought of, which is, what if we just said certain of these, they just take low tone? Because you can think of it as a kind of lenition. But hang on a sec.
Okay. I typed it out, my suggestion. Make prospective and imperfective older forms, put them into Lexurgy as one unit, no space between them. That'll give us low tone prefixes.
We don't have to do it. I mean, I think you're right. We could just say it was a mistake and just do high tone and then forget about it.
And in fact, what we have here matches
I don't know
what
that
I'm.
is.
I do.
Okay.
It matches what I'm saying to do.
Oh, in the passive only, I see what it's saying. Sorry.
And so but that would give us different tones, at least in two. I have leave habitual to match nouns, but if you want to actually say the verb one is older and started reducing first before nouns did, we could get don, low tone, as the habitual. And that separates it from the du, dun of the locative.
Yeah.
While coming from the exact same source.
Oh, were you going to write that down?
But not right now, because you don't like any of my ideas yet.
Well,
So I'm waiting.
No, I'm not trying. I'm sorry. What I evince here, it's not me not liking your ideas. It's me feeling bad. I shouldn't have said anything in the first place. I should have just fixed the accent mark and been done with it. I'm sorry.
If it doesn't match what you want, then let's change it. But I don't think it needs to be as big of a deal as it's becoming.
Okay. Wait, but now you deleted the thing. I wanted to add more things. It is an interesting thing for this prefix to have two different forms coming from the same source. It was my intention when suggesting the habitual stative that it come directly from nominal marking, and people using nominal marking as verbal inflection, and then it getting pulled out in front and becoming verbal inflection as a way to kind of mirror what was happening in the nouns, even though technically what's happening in the verbs is slightly different from what's happening in the nouns. Because there's a lot more phonology happening with the nouns. The verb prefix is actually simpler. That was the intention. It is interesting, though, to for it to have an entirely different vowel in there coming from the same source, and have it just be independently happening.
Okay, I've got a note under perspective.
Oh, wow, look at that. Oh. Oh, boy.
Our test form had ra, closed syllable, heavy vowel. And because of that, like that kind of created a pattern that not all units would follow. And so we either need to decide the pattern is more
Yeah.
important or the verb form is more important.
Yeah, no, I see what you're saying. I want to show everybody what I've just been working on in Lexurgy. I threw in rich and it's all kinds of weird. So just by itself, this is just rich, high tone. If you put it with a space, it's ngare, where the vowel changes and the tone changes. If you put it as one word, it's also ngare, vowel change and tone change. However, if we were to just treat them like totally separate things, it would be two high tones, ngari. And so that's pretty dramatic. That's pretty dramatic.
Wait, that should be low tone. Sorry, I put.
We put a really stable form in there, didn't we?
Yeah.
Oh boy. Oh boy. So maybe my initial concerns about having some of these be at different times doesn't even really matter. We need to just settle on one and just see what happens. Winspiration.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Where did. What was grammaticalized to create. Okay. Did we enter noun classes together with the root or separate?
Oh, they have kind of a funky way that you have to add them. For the suffixes, you can't put the full form in, or you don't get the right thing. And I don't have any examples offhand.
Oh, here we go.
For the form that I chose, it doesn't make a difference. Oh, I forgot to move the document over. I'm sorry, everybody. This whole time. That was too much.
I think what we decided was, I mean, because these endings,
Nope. Feel free to go.
are glomming on, and then the H just disappears. I think we added them late.
Yeah.
And then you just take the ending off. But all that is to say, because of that, uh-oh. There we go.
Okay.
I was just trying to figure out
Right.
with these adjective endings,
So-
which would have come later because they would have been mimicking rather than evolving the same way. They would have just been taking the same endings kind of based on the phonology, right?
Yeah.
Which is why they only take, for instance, the EA or the ah,
Right.
and not the la and the
Yeah,
other
yeah,
things.
yeah.
And so because of that, all that is to say, I think we can also make the imperfective a little bit older. You're going to lose the falling tone on the short E in a lot of cases based on what I've been seeing.
Yeah?
If it is I'm only getting falling tones when it is an open syllable, I believe. So the falling tone on the short E only occurs with an open syllable if you put it in early and like smush it all together.
Okay.
And then we would just delete the B, like that would just get eroded.
Wow. I also get, okay. Okay, so essentially for this, the participle has to happen first. Like it just needs to happen first and be done with. And so then im is just added late.
Sorry, say that again.
For the imperfective, the participle has to happen first, and the whole participle process needs to be totally done so the word is just fixed and unchangeable. Then
Okay.
And then im is still at a point where it's a main verb. And so then it gets whatever is happening to it, and then it's just prefixed. But the thing is, I think the B becomes, where are we? Hold on a sec.
The B becomes a W intervocalically.
Yes. Where does that happen?
Intervocalically?
I meant when, not where. Sound change 13. That's where it happens. Sound change 13, which is after tiny genesis, importantly. So essentially those things have to become a unit before sound change 13. But if they become a unit after sound change 11, then the tone would just stay. Which, oh boy. But if that's the case, then with the imperfective, there would be no variation in the tone at all. Like ever.
I guess I guess I was taking a slightly different thought process, but now I see why you're saying it needs to be that way, in terms of the participle being formed first.
Yeah.
To maintain the verb, otherwise there is no verb.
Yeah.
And so like that makes sense. And so I'm going to take this note out because it shouldn't be an older form.
Yeah, not only that, this shouldn't
And
be.
thank you, Jonathan. I was just looking back at chat and had just seen what was going down. So thank you for taking
Oh,
action. Um, it registered in my brain as the conversation kept going. But yes, I am very, very happy to be surrounded by incredible people in this community. And I self-identify as a nerd, so I take that as a compliment. I don't think you can spend as much time doing what we do and not appreciate. Okay, anyway. What are you clicking on now? What are you doing?
I'm just cleaning up. Sorry.
Apparently from a taste it is, Jonathan.
Okay. So this is unfortunately where we find ourselves. This becomes a lot less interesting. And that is no longer necessary either. So that's that, and that form is done.
Although I gotta say, you're saying that unfortunate, and I'm gonna do finger quotes to you there, because this already in and of itself is interesting. The night versus day class and the
Yeah,
having to have it agree.
and it's got the
And
falling
a
tone.
falling tone
Yeah.
and a W that appears,
No, it's-
which is not something that happens
honestly,
a
it's
lot.
pretty cool.
So like I'm happy with that form. I'm not concerned at that.
Okay. We might have a very, very small poll.
Go on.
That will affect the habitual and the perfective. Because you suggested something which I find interesting. That hang was spontaneously added to verbs and nouns for independent reasons. I had imagined that it would have been added to nouns and then added to verbs much later. And so that the exponents, the form that it actually shows up with, the prefix there, would already be solidified by the time it got to the verbal realm, which is why it's uniformly high tone, which is why it's do or dun, and that's it. And there's no interaction between this prefix and the verbal root. We could make that the vote, in other words, to keep it that way, went from nouns to verbs, or to say that they both independently were added to noun and verb roots, resulting in the different form for the verbal prefix.
Okay. And that gives us
And when I say independently, as I'm fully reading your note, I mean that the verb one is older. And that it glommed with verbs, but not necessarily with nouns.
because the nouns
The nouns
can't
are,
be entered as one unit.
Yeah,
They have to be entered separately.
Yeah.
To me, it makes sense that two verbs would collide before a verb and a noun collided. In terms of grammaticalization.
Yeah.
And so it makes sense to me that the verb form would actually be older. And that then, like it's going to lose its semantics, and then speakers would forget that that's actually the same source as the locative.
I think both options definitely make sense. And I'm not sure if, I'm really not sure if one is better than the other. So it seems like a good poll to me.
Okay.
All right.
And
Okay.
then the passive.
Want to do the passive or flap first? Or was this what you just wrote about flap?
I just wrote about flap.
Okay, this form is older.
Or no, I wrote earlier about flap.
Okay.
The decision still needs to be made. I was just asking if passive should be considered old.
I don't think it matters if passive is older than perspective or perspective is older than passive, because the decision that we have reached with perspective, I think, should carry over to passive.
Okay.
Because the forms are identical. I mean, they're velar consonants at the beginning and a glottal stop. Applying with an infinitive, it really feels like whatever we decide for one, we should decide for the other. So essentially, we're going to be creating a new verbal stem that's going to be used with either the perspective or the passive.
Okay. So the passive prefix is going to follow what we end up doing with the perspective.
Yeah. Either that or the perspective is going to be following what we do with the passive, depending on which one we decide is older. But either way, they're both going to be doing the same thing. Which is why I said it doesn't super matter which one is older.
I put it's roughly the same age, grammatically speaking.
Sure.
And then, of course, the perfective being a compound prefix is going to be the newest. Obviously, its form may not be dun if don is the winner.
Yeah. But crucially, what we decide right now with nga is going to potentially involve vowel and tone changes. Is that going to be the case with don if it wins, or no?
If we... Sorry, can you repeat that?
This prefix right here, the one that we have, that's not going to affect the verb root at all in any way. Will this one?
The ka won't? Oh, the don, the do. Gotcha. Do versus don't, asking if it will affect. Because the do came later. So the don't, first and foremost, depending on how early that in would have been lost. If the N were maintained a little bit before it got lost as just a coda, some changes would happen to the consonant of the verb. So like ra would become la. Is that an L or a click? I think that's an L.
Yep.
Don la. But like the low high is what we're looking for there. I think I ended up deleting my other ones, so I'm going to put those back in. If you, by the way, put in du ra as one word without the N, you get duo, which as a prefix you could see would easily become do. You know, like duo, do. Like it, you could easily see that happening. If we, for instance, put in let me type one more here. If we put in an open syllable on its own in the infinitive would be a high tone. With the don or dun in front of it, it becomes a low tone.
And that's the other thing. There's a lot more variability with this prefix because, for example, if there was a verb ga, then add the prefix. It's low tone, u, long u, and then ah. So not an o.
Yeah. And then if it's a closed syllable, it's an o.
In other words, if it doesn't work with the next thing and become a click, right?
Dun ri comes out as don li.
Yeah.
But dun ri comes out as dun rie, all low tone.
Yeah. How do we get the O?
If a closed syllable follows it. Closed syllable that's not pulling the stress. Well, I'm sorry. Here, I'm just typing the forms I'm getting.
Oh, you put them together as one word.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. All right, that's the issue. That's the issue.
Oh, and then...
Okay.
And then, of course, if we just had a vowel, like if the root were just E, don. Oh, wait. Duo, ni, high tone. Do, ni, do, ni.
Oh, boy.
Whoa. Oh, wait, I typed in the wrong vowel. I was like, how did that happen? Okay. And in fact, duo continues to happen with like a vowel initial. So
okay, I know
closed, open, and then closed with no onset consonant come out in different ways.
I know that we're at 4 p.m. and we said this was going to be the poll, but I'm not necessarily a fan of this.
Are you saying you want to go back and say it's a typo? In a high tone?
No, just that I was, because, with the poll, we were going to say either this option wins or the current option wins, and I'm in favor of the current option, I think. But
the current option is saying it was a typo.
No, because the poll was only going to be about this form, just the do form.
Oh, okay.
We're still discussing what to do with the nga and ka. That's still in
Okay.
play. That's still in play.
Okay.
Just specifically for this one, I wasn't a fan.
Okay.
But then I don't have a poll. Man. Oh, yay, Miles. What are you feeling?
I think it's difficult because when you're talking about something that is grammaticalized and then regularized, historically you would at one point have all of these highlighted forms, but speakers quite often take what occurs most and apply that as the pattern to everything. And so something that used to be twisty in especially an unstressed prefix or a prefix in general where it's like getting smaller and smaller and it's losing that semantic. I could see saying, okay, do, duo is very similar to do. And then, you do have these outliers that are the high oo.
Is it even predictable? I'm trying to figure it out. It kind of... Oh.
Yeah, it's
Well,
if it's a
if it's-
CV syllable, then it's dun. If it's a CVC syllable, then it's don. If it's a V or VC syllable, then it's dual.
Oh, no, I got something even simpler, especially if duo becomes do. If high tone follows it, it's O. If low tone follows it, it's U.
Yeah.
Does that bear out like the entire way through, no matter what you put in? Because like, if so, I'm totally in favor of it eventually like becoming that. Hold on a sec. Really need to get my hair cut. Okay, so you put them in as one word, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, dang, it doesn't work out with the click. You get U with a following low tone. Wait. No, you're supposed to get U with a following low tone, aren't you?
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay.
It's
Yeah.
O is high tone.
Right. Okay. 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 Now I've broken it. Now I've done it.
What'd you find?
I've got O with a following high tone and O with a following low tone.
Okay.
I use the examples, just forms rihna and kana.
Oh, you put in more than one syllable.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that'll break things. Because now if it's got more than one syllable following it, it's always unstressed in the old system, which means it's...
Not necessarily. It's because it just depends how many syllables there are and what they end with. Whoa. Wait. That shouldn't matter. But this should... Okay, maybe not that either. Dang. Okay, I actually don't have a very specific idea how this works, but I am provisionally in favor of this.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to figure it out. Make that the poll.
Okay.
but yeah, both the passive and the prospective, I think, are still to be decided. And I think that the decision is simply this, and I think we can make it quickly. No, I think it's got to be. Okay. I think the perspective and the passive should both be added as one word.
Okay.
And now the question is just, are we going to do the same thing with the habitual or not?
Okay.
How does that strike you?
That is bestrucken.
Okay. Okay. Oddly enough, now both of those forms are correct. Okay. Yeah. But if it were that... Okay. And then... I'm just gonna write this. Okay. Okay. There we go. And so now this is going to be both of those. Same with this for the time being. Okay. All right. Unexpectedly spicy stream.
I made it.
Mostly my fault, but then also a random algorithm person at the very end. How about that?
Just very exciting when that happens.
Yeah. Nice, Magpie. Well, thank you, Jonathan. Makes me feel a little bit better because I feel crummy.
Why do you feel crummy?
I feel crummy because I made you unhappy.
You know, there's a difference between frustrated and unhappy.
Okay, good. Thank goodness. All right. So we're gonna run some forms on Lexurgy, and then I will get the poll up today before we go, and yeah, then we'll kind of go through all the consequences of the decision next week.
That sounds good.
All right. Thank you for joining.
Yes, thank you. See you next week.
All right. Stay grammar, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.